We're a minute early, but let's get going. Good evening. Welcome everybody to this town council meeting, May 14th, 2026. Looks like we got enough for a quorum. We'll have a call to order. Mr. Tuning. Here. Alana Courtney.
Here.
I am here. Bill Goldsmith, Justice.
Here.
Robbie Wilson, present. Having a quorum, we do have Marjorie Austin, who's calling in. And so we need a motion to allow for a council member to attend remotely.
And state the reason.
Yes. So, Marjorie? Or Marjorie is attending a meeting.
That she needs to say.
Okay.
She's on mute.
Yeah. She's what? On mute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you there?
Hello.
You're muted.
She's unmuted.
She's unmuted, but we can't hear her.
Does she read sign language?
Yeah. Somebody want to sign for Marjorie?
Check her volume. I'll send you the link.
She's not speaking.
And she needs to state where she.
Yeah. Marjorie, can we hear you? Can you speak? Your screen is
Speak,
frozen.
Mark. Okay, don't do the vet talk.
What?
Speak.
Speak, yes. Your screen is frozen. You're stuck in time.
Write a sign, write a message.
I'm texting her.
Can you kick her out and have her just go
Figure
back
out,
in?
let her come back in.
We're going to kick you out and ask you to come back in.
That's what she won't be able to read your warning.
She's reading these.
Speak. Stay. Sit.
Go lay down. And again. Are you there?
She's muted, right? The microphone's red.
Oh, she's muted.
Somebody drive her out.
She's over the Eastern Shore.
Oh. Oh, she is?
But we don't need her, do we?
No, we've got a quorum, but I'm sure she wants to participate. She's taking time.
You want me to register?
I think.
So she's
I'm
on the
doing it right
Eastern
now.
Shore, is that what
She's
she's
going to be in the harbor.
But where?
Chincoteague.
In Chincoteague, yeah. Yeah, that may be the issue.
Well, I'll send her the following. Check your volume. We can't hear you.
She's frozen again.
We're going to kick you out and ask you to come back in, and then on our end, it's showing that you're muted. I don't know what else.
Can you just call her and do that?
Okay.
She can participate electronically that way.
Yeah.
All right. Got enough juice in this thing.
Hello.
Hey, Marjorie, it's Ted. We got to, let's, okay.
Unmute, so that's what's going on.
All right,
Frozen again.
we got to go on speakerphone, and you can.
Go on the Zoom so I can watch and hear at the same time.
Okay, well, we're going to have you on speakerphone.
Okay.
All right, so
74%. You need more battery.
The reason you're participating remotely is?
I'm in Chincoteague, Virginia at a Virginia Municipal League Conference for council people.
All right.
And what is the location?
She said she did.
Oh, she did. I'm
She-
sorry.
yeah.
Okay. I was waving at this.
All right. So at this point, we need a motion to allow her to participate remotely.
For those reasons as stated.
For those reasons as stated. I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, now, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
We've had some bouncing around on the agenda, but the amended agenda is before you. Do I have a motion to accept the amended agenda as presented?
So moved.
All right. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. We have minutes from April 23rd that are presented. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I move to approve the April 23rd, 2026 minutes as presented, or when discussed amendments made by consensus of the council.
All right, Marjorie seconded. Do we have any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Next up, public hearings. Mr. Costa.
Mayor, members of council, ladies and gentlemen, the first item you have regarding public hearings is a special use permit application 01 for 2026 by William C. Height. This and the remaining items have all been advertised as required by state law. The application materials have been and are available for review in the offices of the town hall during normal business hours. This first request is to allow for the conversion of some commercial space, approximately 1,000 feet, to an apartment. The location is 271 Prince George Street. The tax map is identified as 20A-147. The acreage is approximately 1/10 of an acre. The property is zone B1 in the historic district. It's a one-story office building with past uses, including auto parts sales and a training facility. The adjacent composition is commercially zoned and used as well as residentially used. The property is not to be further developed as it exists now, so there's no environmental concerns. Consultations with various agencies which were contacted for comments on this case, and no comments or concerns were received. As far as the zoning compliance, there is no setbacks or minimum lot size of B1 district. There is a 35-foot height restriction with one-story building, which does not come close to exceeding. The designation within the comprehensive plan is general retail with services, and supporting language for this request aligning to this designation follows. As an economic goal and subsequent objective, expand the economic activities commensurate with the existing character and lifestyle of the local community, and encourage a diversified, vibrant environment through mixed-use development, which combines residential, commercial, and recreational functions. This follows the concept of a higher density mixed-use waterfront development. The applicant notes the building can be divided into several different areas depending on the need. This assessment is very much in line with diversified mixed-use development expressed in the comprehensive plan. While the plan does not offer a housing-focused goals or subsequent objectives, it does, under general land use, state the following: encourage harmonious and wise use of land in all future development decisions, and retain and promote low-density residential development within the town. Now, the first paragraph of the analysis is fairly standard. It is the standard, the authority under special use permit. Now, applying those standards, this is a mixed-use area. You might want to view it.
I tried to do
Just muting it from her.
Oh, yeah.
It's a feedback. Applying this authority to these standards, this is an existing mixed-use area. The proposed use can be considered generally compatible. Still, condition 4 is suggested to secure a diversified mixed-use environment, combining residential and commercial uses in accord with the comprehensive plan objectives noted above. Most conditions are standard, such as 1, 2, 3, and 7. The remaining conditions 5 and 6 are suggested to avoid burdening on-street parking demand. That's condition 5. In recognizing the change in the use for the remaining commercial portion of the building, commercial 6, which was basically revokes the prior special use permit for the recreational facility for boarding track. You have the suggested conditions there. I will let you know that the Planning Commission did recommend approval of this request. Be happy to take any questions you have.
Okay.
It's a B1 zone,
Yes, sir.
as I recall. I don't know, it was on council when they approved it, but it was on before they approved zoning. And I remember Prince George Street was a mixed use type street where you could put commercial and residential. And that hadn't changed.
It's still all zone B1 down there. Both sides of the street.
All right.
The applicant.
Good.
The applicant, sorry.
Yes. Mr. Hyde?
Mayor, Councilwoman, Councilman, how are y'all? All right, so this spot in the building was, it's not a conversion. You could move in tomorrow if I moved all the dead stuff. I'm not doing any new bathroom, new kitchen, new, it's there. So, I basically am trying to find the best use for now my property, but my dad's property. Right. I really don't know why I'm here for a special use permit because it's going to be my right that you can do this. But doing a special use permit costs me time and money. And I'm not talking about the $300. It's while I'm waiting to decide how to use these properties, it's tax on another month or two every time. So, I had a tenant that was going to move into the morning track as retail, and that tenant needed residential space also. Well, I've since then lost that tenant due to timing. Which isn't a bad thing. I might be working on something else for the Napa building or the Parkwest building, whatever. So, it's just doing a special use permit because I have to do the special use permit doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be residential. I just need the freedom to do, it's a terrible retail spot. If you've driven down the side street, you don't even know it. A business renting that 1,000 square feet out to a business trying to sell things would be, they wouldn't survive. They wouldn't even do it. That's why I kind of, with the fact that it was already kind of set up as a park, I decided to seek the residential. So, that's.
Except is the back half that you're making residential and the front half?
All right, so if you're looking at the glass front.
Yes.
It's the back right corner.
Yes, okay. That's what I figured.
So the building, like Ted said, it can be subdivided. You can have the front retail space. There's the warehouse space in the back that was used for warehouse needs. And then there was Dad's office when he retired and then kept the gun business and everything going on the premises. When he did that conversion, but it's just, I'm asking for a special use for it because that's been bringing her down, but I'm also asking, we gotta do something with it. Everything's questions. Everything's too much. And I'm trying, I talk to people and I'm like, I don't know, let me call back. And then, they lose interest or, understand that it's gonna take 2 months and they move on. I'd like to find something to do with the lot, but there's not a lot that I can do with it without probably getting special use. I hope y'all can understand. I'm trying to make best use out of my property, and I'm also trying to make good use for them, for the town also, I know that residential is a sticking point, but we need a little bit more population. We don't need a whole lot of population, but we do need a little bit more population. And, I don't want to see Urbanna die because we're running people away that want to do good things. Do y'all have any questions for me?
This was you're talking about where your dad's office was?
Yeah, the very back corner, there's a steel door and there's a glass.
Yeah, I'm looking at guns.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, is it gonna be the Taj Mahal of apartments? Probably not, but, you know, it's set up.
But it's 1,000 square feet.
When you looked at this, does he have a buy right? I mean, it's been like that as long as I've been remembering walking around.
I haven't had that question put to me. That would require figuring out when was the last time it was occupied consecutively. If it's been more than 2 years, then that by right would have, even though structurally it's there, but structurally you come in the door off the Prince George, alongside of Prince George, and you've got a sink, kitchen here, you got a room back here that doesn't have a closet, then you got a room that's a bathroom, so it's spread out. I don't know if you could consider it as a grandfathered use. I really don't. I'd have to do a lot more research on that. But the question was, and conversion existing, this is looking at a full-time use rather than a sporadic. Sometimes Mr. Height stayed there, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, you know, there's always that, you know, there's a little bit count. Well, I'd say absolutely if it's consistent. I just don't know how consistent it is.
But if we pass a special use permit tonight, he can go ahead.
You can go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And that's where we are.
Yeah. All right. All right, any other questions for Mr. Hyder? All right, thank you. So now I go to open the public hearing for this special use permit. Are there anybody sign up for comments to the public?
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Is there already a kitchen in there? I heard him say something about a kitchen, but I lost it for a minute.
Yeah, there is a kitchen in there. There's a bathroom in there. There's lots of open space if you consider that living space. And
Right.
then there's I think what Mr. Hyde indicated to me, the actual office
Right.
was intended to be the bedroom. It doesn't have a closet, but there's some.
Yeah, Bill had showed me it before, but I just wasn't sure if it had changed. So, all right, thank you.
That's the only one.
This is,
That's the only one. I think that's the only
is that for this one?
It's for this.
Okay, that's for, okay, all right. So if there's no other comment from the public, we close the public hearing. And any other response, council discussion?
Well, we have a history of using business of buildings for both business and residential. Look at the industry. People live over top of the dime store.
Right.
So, you know, I think we have a history of it. You know, if there's a problem, I think Mr. Hyde will take care of it. I don't know what to do. I'm all for it myself.
Okay, anybody else? Robbie? Beth? Alana?
I'm good with it.
All right. So, do I have a motion? Is that where we
I'll
go
make
now?
a motion.
All right, Marjorie, we got you on there, so I guess we can give Ted his phone back.
What is your,
Yeah, I sent a message to Michelle.
what is your motion, Marjorie?
To accept the SUP as presented.
With the revisions to conditions 3, 4, and 5 as presented?
Yes.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one.
All the
With all the conditions, okay.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's, do I have a second on the motion?
Second.
Is that a voice vote or
Roll call.
roll call? All right. Any further discussion? Mr. Tooney?
Yes.
Alana Corking?
Yes.
I say yes. Beth Justice?
Yes.
Robbie Wolfson?
Yes.
Marjorie Austin?
Yes.
All right. Moving on. Congratulations.
Next case this evening is application number 2 for a special use permit for the year 2026. This is to revise conditions associated with special use permit 1, 2024, special use permit 4, 2024, special use permit 2, 2025. The revised conditions, which were granted to allow for retail sales of food and drink together in the restaurant with arcade and board games access was permitted and approved. Now, subsequent amendments are noted, were approved and set out as attachment A in the staff report. If you look at that attachment, you'll see what the original ones were. That's in the lower, not highlighted bold font, and then where the changes were and when those changes were made. This property is 161 Cross Street, tax map 28-17-8. Property owners pick homes. The acreage is approximately 1,700 of an acre. The zoning district is commercial. It's also in the Chesapeake Bay overlay area. Uses have been basically a 2-story, historically mixed-use building. Right now, with the restaurant operation, with the short-term rental upstairs. The adjacent composition is a mix of commercial and residential, both used and zoned. Again, there's no planned exterior improvements to the property that would require any environmental concerns or permitting. Again, consultations with various agencies were contacted for comments, and in this case, no comments or concerns were received. Zoning compliance, there's no setback requirements in the B1. There's a 35-foot height restriction, which the building does not come close to exceeding. The comprehensive plan designation is the same as the previous request, general retail and services. So the supporting language is the same under economic goals and objectives. But in this case, there's the additional language in the objectives to encourage light industrial uses, no nuisance problems, in commercial operations, especially those related to water and tourism related activities in areas so designated in the future land use exhibit G map. And number 5, provide an environment for the types of employment that will sustain the local workforce through their working years. The analysis again begins with a review of the authority to impose standards. And so now, as this is an existing mixed use area, the proposed use can be considered generally compatible. Now, most of the conditions originally imposed or revised were done so to avoid nuisances, such as condition 5, noise, and condition 3, hours of operation. These are again the focus of the present request, as is now condition 4, gaming, which was originally imposed to avoid gaming potentially detrimental to the community. While condition 5 has not been fully complied with relative to the rear patio plan submission, there is still time to comply with that requirement. Primarily, no complaints have been received other than parking. The operation since its initiation of this request in regard has generally been non-nuisance creating. Therefore, the determination to alter the conditions is to be made by council considering the mitigation of potential adverse situations related to the general health, safety, and welfare of those on the property or near the property. Now, this case started as an enforcement action related to condition 4 when it was brought to my attention that the condition 4, the one regarding the gaming, was being violated. Brought to the attention, and that provision of the gaming, which was no prizes. Game all you want, but no prizes. All right, so moving on, the applicant wanted to take this opportunity to fix that, but also address 2 other pieces. Those are the hours of operation. So as you look at the staff report, you'll see how condition relative to the hours of operation read now and what the proposed revision is. So looking at the hours of operation, the hours of operation changes will result in 91 hours of potential activity, up from 51 originally granted. The applicant has stated the desire for flexibility to operate within a window, but at the same time avoid another SUP process. Full utilization of these hours days may be in the long term or seasonal. The additional hours may assist in meeting customer demand while not exceeding the occupancy limit and thus lessen the parking demand. Present condition number 4, presented before you. The revision request is also presented before you. This revised language has been shared with the applicant and they're agreeable. The applicant knows their business plan has shifted away from the original arcade plan. The proposed condition allows games to be played for prizes, but not any game that would not be potentially detrimental to the community as earlier noted. And if you note in that condition, it basically prohibits electronic games, internet or media linked games. That would be a game that they control there on site. Then present condition number 5, that's a long one. So what's at play is the last sentence. Now, the present condition reads, likewise, no outdoor speaker system may be utilized, and there shall be no noise from inside of the structure that is audible outside the structure. The revision is in the last sentence, which would be deleted and replaced with, outside entertainment shall be limited to live performances on the rear patio ending no later than 8 p.m. The applicant proposes acoustic music using a standalone speaker occasionally performing on the rear patio in lieu of a decibel level being imposed due to variation in the instrument and speaker. The hour hard stop has been proposed. But that what I'm talking about is, Ms. Justice, you probably know that certain speakers, you know, if you have the same instrument going through a speaker, you get a different decibel level than the same instrument going through a different type of speaker. So rather than have to worry about decibel levels, just put it to an hour. So you have a suggested motion there. I'll also let you know the Planning Commission also recommended approval of this request. Be happy to take any questions you have at this time.
So under item 4, if he were to offer an electronic battleship, would that qualify as an electronic game?
I would think so.
If I were to win at Monopoly, would that be a cash prize? Monopoly money.
No.
It's not, but it's not, you can't take Monopoly money and go buy.
See what I'm getting at? Like, am I right to understand that this was brought up because they emailed him what they wanted to do to make sure they were in compliance?
Yes, but they had already started. They had already started. They had already started,
Mr. Mayor,
with that.
just a point of order.
Okay.
The staff makes their report and then the applicant speaks, then you have the public hearing, and then there's discussion and
Okay.
an opportunity for questions.
Later.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Again, I'm happy to take any questions.
All right. Mr. Pickett.
Go ahead. Good. Fourth or fifth time.
Welcome back.
Sorry.
You want to start with the games? How do you?
Yeah,
So we
go ahead.
We were doing the bingo and trivia on Monday night. And yes, my wife was the one that she wanted to do like a gift card for
Right.
overall, whatever. And I said, that would probably count as monetary value, in which it does. You know, I
Right.
did that. But we never did that. What we were doing was advertisers, t-shirts.
Right.
Katie chips. But I didn't think that qualified as monetary value. I don't know if an interesting point too. If you were to play Battlefield and they give you a prize, is that monetary value?
Yes.
Because that's an electronic game.
Oh, it's an electronic prize?
I think that originally intent was the games that you see at the gas stations, which is gambling.
Exactly.
That was never our intention. We don't want any of that stuff. We like board games, bingo night.
Right.
That's pretty much it for the game.
But there might be some games like Family Feud or something on there you wanna play.
A very popular one nowadays is to have
Okay, let them do his presentation.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so
My bad.
Yeah, I know, we thought about chess too, in the back room, doing chess night. I know there's some older children who have been interested in that. I thought that was a good idea. Get one in the quiet room for the extra side. I didn't even think about that though, so I'm requesting that the back needs like an electronic board game to that too, just in case. And this is sort of why I put in the hour. I got to thinking originally when we submitted this new special use, I was like, man, I don't want to come back here in another few months because we stayed open until 9:15 because someone was finishing a glass of wine and, you know, somebody said, well, I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
Over the speaker system, that was the last thought. I think that was the last thing that I mentioned instead. It's like, well, if we do the patio and I want to get some music there, well, they bring speakers and if I have someone's going to shut us down again and we're going to be right back here again.
Right.
And the hours, we're never going to stay up until 11 o'clock unless our band just turns from Richmond City, which I never, it's a sleepy town. I just put that in there just to have, I did tell Ted though, originally when we did the time change for Monday Night Football, because it's $1 oyster night, I thought that might be a good thing for the guys, eat oysters, watch football, go home. So I feel like I've been handcuffed as a restaurant. I don't consider us a restaurant, it's more a tavern. I'm a street bar in a restaurant. I know that it was brought to our attention because I saw that, honestly, I guess the restaurant district only qualifies if you're on the waterfront. So everything on Virginia Street and Cross Street technically is grandfathered in. Is that right, Ted? Because my wife is, she looked at all the maps and things. I guess technically only
Presentation.
yeah, so only, the way I got it, the way I read the maps is only restaurants are allowed on the waterfront. So I know every restaurant kind of falls, but I know a lot of them are grandfathered. I'm not going to stay on that top, but I just feel like I think we've been good for the community, and I think we've been quiet, and I think this is a good opportunity too. It's nothing against Mr. He's doing totally opposite of what I'm doing, but I want to see Urbana keep this town and keep this business, and I think that. I know you're a history guy. More and more people from Richmond are coming, starting to see people from Midfoot coming, and I think they are drawn because they like the small towns. What's the only walkable town that you can live in and go, to a restaurant and go shopping. There's a lot of stuff to do here. If you look at Deltaville, it's so spread out, you can't walk that town. Whitestone, Irvington is super small. There's too much traffic there. Reedville is just a peninsula. So this is the only town I believe that's small and quaint. You can do that.
Yeah. You're obviously just trying to increase your flexibility.
Yeah, I just want flexibility and just do business. I don't think we have any complaints. Well, one complaint, and and that was the complaint that I know we got that email every single time I fill this out is that person involved in the business district. He turned his business into a residential amendment. Right, I don't care, but he should not be complaining that I want to do business in the business district. It makes no sense.
Right.
Because if anybody has to continue to deal with one or two of these, then it gets frustrated. But I don't care. I'm a pretty laid back guy. So, and I'm, this is where I'm a Virginia guy, where I want to be. I convinced my wife that she likes the place. We have kids. They love coming here. Not a carpetbagger or anything like that. You know what those are, but that's kind of where I am.
That's it.
So your request is approval.
Yeah, I just want.
Yep. Okay. All right.
So, any questions you guys have for me, or?
We're not allowed to ask.
Well, that would be later during discussion. Yeah, you'll be available.
Oh, so they can't ask questions for me now, or?
It's not customary. No.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm an open book.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time with that.
There's time coming up.
Okay.
All right. Now let's open the public. Okay.
Yeah.
Open the public hearing for this special use permit. And we do have A.B. Gravitt who wants to put in his 2 cents.
Yeah,
Welcome, Colonel.
thank you. I made some notes. Ashley and I fully support the permit. If I could say, it's for those of us that go there, we're all local. It's like Cheers. We all know each other. we're always there to have fun and to enjoy ourselves. And on Monday night, we were playing, bingo and charades. And the prizes went from, bag of potato chips, maybe a glass of wine, or actually, we gave tours of Lansdowne for people that hadn't seen it. But it was a fun place. Everybody was enjoying themselves, and everybody was having a good time. And I appreciate it if y'all would support them. They are an asset to this town. An asset to the town, and they need y'all's support so they can go forward. We need people like Sean. That's a small place. I mean, he's not making $1 million off of that place. He's just trying to provide an asset to the town and make a little profit for him and his family. And I would appreciate if y'all would support it. Now I got another I have another comment, but I have to wait till you do the open comment period, or can I do that like that?
No, open comment.
This is the public hearing on the zoning
Okay.
request.
Okay. The other comment that I'd like to make,
Later.
later.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, AJ. Then they're trying to beat AJ and make him easier.
All right. Any other comments from the public?
I would echo what Amy said. I'm not on the agenda or anything, but I absolutely, I will completely echo this right. Am I allowed to speak as a,
Please
I'm
state your
Susan
name.
Johnston. I live just outside of Urbanna town limits, if you will, on that hill. Completely echo what Amy says. It's a wonderful establishment. It serves some great local oysters, local seafood, which is really hard to come by in our tiny little waterfront town. Sean and his wife Sarah are doing a great job. It is a fun place. There's nothing criminal about bingo or the trivia or whatever it is. And I just hope you guys really support them. Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Would
you.
like to say something also.
Come on up.
I echo what
I
they said.
identify
Gary
myself.
Please state your
Robusto,
name.
Gary Robusto. My address is Urbana, Virginia. I echo what they said, and I would play bingo there for nothing. It's so much fun, and the atmosphere is good. The workers they know who you are, they know your name, they know what you like to eat. It's been my favorite place in Urbana since I've been here. Now, I know you all know this,
If you would please address your comments to the council.
but that place where he is located was property of Dr. Mitchell, of our famous Mitchell man. So I just want you to kind of like envision that in your mind, that there's, history there. And everything he does there is about Virginia. Virginia beer, Virginia wine, Virginia oysters. Can't get better than that. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? All right. We'll now close the public hearing. Any other questions for anybody? Comments?
I have a comment. I think it's getting to be a little ridiculous that Mr. Pickett has to go through all of these SUPs just to have a business. I mean, he's probably spent $1,000 or close to it at $300 a pop. And like he said, he's just trying to run a business, and nobody else has to do that, regardless of what they change in their business. So I think at this point, these SUPs for him is just, I think it's an insult, and I think it needs to stop.
Mayor response?
Yes.
I want to go back in time to when I was a young planner over in Matthews county. And, the county attorney, who happened to be the Commonwealth's attorney, someone named Paul Blannick, we had a zoning issue, and he gave me some immortal words. Son, it ain't your interpretation, it's what you got to interpret. The council can change this ordinance anytime it wants to. So if you're having issues with how the restaurant is applied, how the additional, the residential space to commercial, tell me to change the ordinance, I'll give you a draft and we can kick it around.
And that would be separate though from this request.
Yes, it would be
Right,
separate
yeah.
from this request.
Right.
I will note though, since I've been here, I kind of took over the processing of the Small Town Burger, a restaurant that went through a special use permit. And then it was this one. The only other one that we dealt with as a restaurant, and Mr. Wilson, this kind of goes back to your question earlier about the grandfathering, is
Legal non-conforming.
legal non-conforming. You had the prior restaurant down there, and they were within a couple of months of having to do an SUP. If they'd come back a couple of months later than what they did, they'd have been outside the 2-year window, and they would have had to go through a special use permit because the way it was.
Right.
So again, if you all want to change the ordinance on this or any aspect, on how the restaurants are done or how residential is commercial is converted over residential, give me the marching orders and I'll draft something up.
Madam Attorney, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All right, I don't understand what's going on. They can do it on the main street, but they can't do it on the street where they are about 20 feet from the street, 30 feet, whatever they are. They can game, I guess, all the others or not?
I would say that they could game in all the others. They could do live performances in all the others because they were up and running and doing those things before this business came into town under this ordinance.
Oh, I see. So the ordinance wasn't around until recently.
Well, the zoning ordinance has been around for years,
Yeah, I know.
but again, I know Virginia Street Cafe's been around since I've been associated around Middle Peninsula in 1980.
I guess my question is, are they gaming and doing things like that in other restaurants? And
I know other restaurants are doing live performances.
Yeah.
Because I've been there when they've been doing live performances. Were they doing live performances? How many years have they been doing that? I don't know.
what that tells me is, if we're allowing it somewhere else, we just will allow it here, not that far off. Keep track.
I'm not.
Maybe we do need to look at these ordinances.
I'm not recommending it.
No, when we pass zoning, when we pass zoning, it was a bull, this is how they presented it. This is a bull, this is years and years ago. This is a boilerplate document. It's the same damn thing for you, that's for Kilmarnock, for Irvington, for Richmond, probably. You got to figure out how to mold it into shape for your community.
Yeah.
And I guess we've been doing that over time, but maybe we haven't completed the project. So maybe we need to look at that. But
Yeah, it's a good idea.
a 2-year project.
No, I mean, but you can change this one zoning district.
Yeah, we
I'm not
can.
against
I mean,
looking at the whole
yeah.
thing, but you could do just one part.
I guess my point is, if we're already doing it 100 feet from where he is, it's all right with me. If he ought to be able to do it.
Mr. Judy, I've expressed many times, I don't understand why you have a commercial district where restaurants aren't permitted by right.
Okay, I'm not getting on your
That's what you
team.
got.
I'm just trying to.
I understand.
Right. It makes sense to me that if we're allowing somebody else to do it, and they're like pretty close to where he is, and we're not having problems with them. Now, if we're having problems with them, that might be another story. But I haven't heard anything about it.
Question.
Thank you.
If this condition 4, I'm assuming that what says the applicant's okay with, I find overly onerous. Sounds like we need to change it. I mean, you go to some of these breweries now and you have internet connected bingo, question games on your phone. I find it embarrassing that the town of Urbana is not gonna allow computer and internet use in a game, which is becoming everything. I do understand, at least I'm assuming the intention behind this is those queen gambling games. So I understand we're in very much a gray legal area right now. Is it possible for us to change or put an ordinance in to just restrict those?
I'll defer to the attorney about that, but can I make a suggestion? Looking at that revision, just end it with the first sentence. No game shall be offered that is not controlled by the app.
Aren't they getting around that with store credit or something nowadays? I mean, that company has been super slick on the way they've been doing business and sliding around the legislature. No, Queens, not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there was a bill,
Didn't go through, right?
well, the governor, I think, vetoed it. Yeah. The whole story behind that.
Yeah, I was reading on it, and that's,
If I could just offer, when this original SUP was issued, number 4 was added because of the concerns of the council. And so if you want to remove number 4 now, you feel like you no longer have concerns, that is totally fine.
Yeah, and that's what I remember was that it was something that we all discussed.
It was the games of skill, I think,
Right.
which is what you're talking about.
And it was, the intent was to stop those games of skill.
Yeah,
And
straight the whole thing.
if we do that and Mr. Pickett suddenly changes character and decides he wants to turn that into a queen gambling parlor,
You could
then we have a
initiate,
way to.
yeah, you could initiate, a special use permit amendment. It would go through the planning commission. It would come to you, or you could change your ordinance.
I would say, I don't, they have good lobbyists, so I don't want to do anything to set them off.
Well, I mean, there's also state regulations for gambling, and I don't think that would hurt. That's what I'm getting at. It's like a clean down.
Still in a monopoly money counts.
Can I then now propose a motion?
Marjorie, you had something?
Yeah, I just say get rid of number 4 and then we change the ordinance.
All right, so if I can give you a suggested new motion. Move to approve revisions to conditions 3 and 5 and
delete
elimination of condition 4 imposed with the granting of special use permit 2024-01 as presented. Well, just leave it there. So move to approve revisions to condition 3 and 5 and elimination of condition 4 imposed with granting and so forth.
So moved.
Okay.
And renumber accordingly.
Yeah. Marjorie moved it.
Right, so the motion has been made.
Yeah. You just need a
Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All right. We'll start with Marjorie.
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Alana?
Yes.
I say yes. Beth?
Yes.
Robbie?
Yes.
All right. Moving on.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Sean.
Is there also a consensus of council to look at that particular part of
That
the
ordinance,
ordinance?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I would say a consensus to try to evaluate the special use permit process. These continue to come up, and I don't, unless somebody's trying to just do something crazy like launch a strip club in town or something like that, because casino obviously wouldn't be allowed by state, but
Right.
I think we have a spirit of what we want. We may not have conveyed it very well in words, and it needs to be addressed.
Right.
It,
Yep.
But you also have to keep in mind that, the violation was on something that was specifically addressed and we voted not to allow, and then you get into a spot where you've already made a statement and you're gonna say, now we're not gonna enforce it. And so we backed ourselves into a corner in that we're either gonna be consistent and enforce those things that we have accepted and made them go through, or we're not. And in this case, a change was made and that forced the circumstance. So if we change the ordinance, then it eliminates that possibility. But we have to recognize the fact that what triggered this was something that was specifically addressed in the initial thing that we said, I think unanimously as a council, we weren't going to allow.
I just want clarification on what council wants staff to do. Is it to look at all of the SUP process in the code, or just like this zoning district and this?
I would say we look at all the SUPs that have come through and we've approved recently and try to see if you can figure out, you know, what it is that's being approved in the town and try to change it accordingly. I mean,
Well, I think one of the things is having restaurants by right in the commercial districts.
So maybe the council wants to, at the work session, talk about that to say what council wants.
Work session's gonna be pretty much tied to budget.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a bigger.
maybe this is a longer term, later year thing, but I'm hearing the public loud and clear, we are definitely hindering business in this town with this permitting process.
Yep.
So, I understand it has to be done well.
Absolutely.
Not by us. We are losing money, we found out in the budget meetings, because it costs us more to process these, and the $300 covers because of the advertising. So it's hurting us all. It's hurting the town government, tying Ted up, slowing the business owners down. And there's got to be a middle ground. I know there is. We just need to work at it. I think we need to work on it. So later in the year.
Marjorie, did you have something else?
No.
So we'll wait for more specific direction from council.
I agree. Let's try to do it quickly.
So,
Well, what are we doing?
So what I would suggest would be, if you don't mind me giving you a homework assignment, to look at the zoning, go through it and say, okay, if I'm in a commercial district, do I really want a restaurant to be a special use permit? Now, you read through that whole provision about restaurants, you get caught up a lot with parking, okay, because there's no parking around, okay? But what use, don't worry about the side stuff, about the size of the sign or the number of parking spaces, just look at the use list. You know, and say, okay, do these uses, and I'd start from the very beginning, R1, the residential one, are these uses that I want by right? And look at the special use permit and say, can some of these come over? Do they need to be where they are, or do they need to be gotten rid of? You know, those are three options that you've got. Bring it over, leave it where it is, get rid of it.
Well, yeah, and I was just trying to say that maybe you want to call a special meeting to have a work session to go through that, so that we can be sure that we are writing what you want.
That sounds perfect.
Like to get through the budget in July the 4th, if we could do those two, and pick it up in July.
Yeah.
We need to remember the $300 that small businesses are paying to do this. You know, I ran a small business.
Yeah.
Yeah, for $300, you know, Urbanna, how many businesses are making a whole lot of money, you know? So we want to encourage the few businesses we have in the state. The $300.
Well, and part of the problem there, Larry, is the $300 doesn't cover the cost of what it takes for the notification and the advertising. So that's what.
Yeah,
Let's cut it out.
I'm just telling you, remember, it's coming out of the $300 is coming out of the guy's pocket. You know, it could be $400, but I mean, it's expensive to do this stuff. And
for them, but also we calculated the other day, we are running a deficit on the special use permits.
Right.
The newspaper advertising costs, I pay reporters, costing us more than what we're getting in $300. Hey, either chocolate torter salaries, or we can raise it.
Did you want to mention any names?
There will always be a sentinel.
I can see the headline.
Because your options after the Sentinel are the Daily Press and the Richmond.
They're more
They're a lot more expensive.
Our option
They
is
are.
Facebook. That's the only option we can have.
But General Assembly doesn't allow that. I mean, we worked with Delegate Hodges, remember, a couple of years ago, to get out of the certification, the mail-in having to be certified, because that was costing us $10.
Right.
Mr. Gravitt can tell you.
Yeah, Mr. Gravitt does very well about sending certified letters to get something passed.
Yeah. Well, on the other side, there's transparency.
So to recap, we're going to do a work session in July where Ted's going to kind of walk through it with the council to find out what the council does and doesn't want.
Yep.
And understanding that we're leaning heavily upon the zoning administrator and attorneys to help us guide us through this, because none of us are zoning specialists.
No, but you have to tell us what you do and don't want to allow.
Right. And as those things are presented, like looking at the different sections, R1, what do we want to allow in there without a special use permit, and what are we going to require a special use permit? The same thing with B1, B2, all across the board.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Wilson, there's no one right answer. There's going to be pros and cons to everything. Yeah.
That's like.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll look at that as our July work session.
Have we have something to do?
Sure. All right, the next item is an ordinance, number 1, 2026, to adopt and enact a new code for the town of Urbanna. The recodification project with Civic Plus Muni Code began in 2017. The council was sent a full copy of the new code on November 12, 2025. So don't panic, this is not my presentation, but this is the code. Okay, and that's everything. From animal control to zone, A to Z, okay, all in here. All right. During the recodification process, the following changes were made to the town code. A new numbering system, some headings and section name change. Any outdated references to the Code of Virginia were updated to the current. So let me give you an example. If you look at our current code that's out there right now, it might reference as authorized section 15.1 Code of Virginia 19. 15.1 was recodified and done away with in the 1990s, and it's now 15.2. Okay, so that type of change. And then various indexes and comparison tables were added. In reviewing the final product, it was found that some actions of council which were adopted by resolution were not sent to Municode for inclusion, and those actions are reflected as corrections in the ordinance itself. If you look at the ordinance, about line 20, about 21 down, you'll see that there are 4 items that are not in this book that should be, and those would be inserted after your action. The Planning Commission reviewed Chapter 20, Planning, Chapter 26, Subdivision, and Chapter 34, Zoning, you see their alphabetical order, and held a public hearing on May 6th. They voted 3-0 with 2 absent to recommend approval of those chapters. Fiscal impact. There was none this time. This project was already paid for several years ago. The staff recommendation is to approve the ordinance with the changes noted. Be happy to take any questions you might have.
I mean, again, the items in red are simply where the clerk went through, found the resolutions that were adopted and simply put them in the code book because they never got put in the code.
With this action, they will be put in.
Right, that's what you're doing. You're not changing codes, you're not changing resolutions.
No narratives,
You're simply,
no changes.
we're making a comprehensive one-stop document.
Yep.
So when we ask what's the code on accessory buildings, you don't have to go digging through all of the council archives.
It's in there in the zoning. They're right there. They're right there for you.
Does that include height restrictions?
Under the zoning, yes. But as you look at your index, it's now indexed alphabetically. So zoning's going to be at the back side, subdivision's going to be somewhere more towards the front. Animal control is going to be up front. front, administration's gonna be up front. It's all done, reorganized. So moving zoning from what is now 17 to 30, 34. So then all those little subsections, when you say a single family house is authorized in the R1 district by 17.4 number, it's now going to be 30, 34 number.
And this project was started in 1999 or something like that?
Well, 2017.
At least that was out of high school.
Right, 2017, but the 15.1, 15.2 was changed late 90s.
Mid
I was in
90s.
high school when this started.
When the Virginia code changed from 15.1 to 15.2 was late 90s. Yeah.
Can we adopt the motion?
I think he would like to point out that he was in high school.
No.
I was not.
I've got gray hair and I was in high school when this started, so I don't want to.
So it's about time we passed.
This is a huge project to get accomplished, and thank you for getting it done.
Well, many kudos also to Christine, because she's the one that read through everything to make sure that everything got caught up. And this is a project that we started last winter with Andrea, mapping out how to finish what had been started.
And this also gives us a product that we can update going forward that's unified.
And
And it's electronic.
I want to ask Christine,
And is electronic.
would you speak to how this goes on the website? Or we'll have a link to the virtual.
For the first year, as soon as council passes the ordinance, and I tell Unicode that you have been given a copy of your signed ordinance, they will put it online. So if you've seen, I believe West Point, if you've been to West Point and look at their code online, it's hosted by Unicode. Online, you can just put in a search word and find whatever you're looking for. You can look for it by chapter.
Or you can just go to the Unicode website.
Yeah, and that's where
Either way.
it is. It'll take you, that's what the link will take you to. It's hosted by them, so it's on their website. But we will have a link to it. So now when you hit town code, instead of it automatically downloading an old PDF file, it will take you to that where you can search it.
Yeah, posted on the internet.
Yeah.
Are they going to charge us for up changes? Like if we want to update a section?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
Okay.
They charge, that's why I recommended that we do because this isn't only through, 2018 or 2019. We need to bring it up to today, and then we need to start updating it in other ways. But so every time you change it, you have to send it to them, and they'll send all the new pages, and they update all of the little indexes and update the website.
So there's
but it is something that we would have to pay for.
Would be something that once you all act, they'll put.
That would go in here.
Yeah.
Can I ask some mayor question?
Yeah.
How long have you been talking about?
Forever.
Well, it's sitting on Holly's desk in 2019.
I want to publicly thank you all tremendously for getting this done. Thank you. I thought it had been.
Yeah, that can's been kicked down the road a long distance.
So you want to open the public hearing?
Yeah, more than anything in the world. The public hearing is now open on the adoption of Ordinance 01/2026, recodification of town code.
I'm confused. Has anything changed actually as far as what the rules are, or it's just been put in a different form?
All the pieces were,
I need like 2 sentences.
all the pieces were disjointed and it wasn't complete. And we had a partial product that now has been collated so that we can use that as a starting point.
Is it more,
to bring,
would you say it's more organized?
Yeah.
All right.
2 words. Yes, more organized.
2 words.
It is now organized.
Well, here,
No one signed up this year.
What's that?
No one signed up.
I was gonna say, who would sign up for that? I'm always surprised. All right, then I'm gonna close the public hearing. Do I have any other conversation from council? Good. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 01/2026, recodification of the town code?
So this is something this is something we're working on, and we're gonna go from there, or?
This gives us it gives us a starting point. Height restriction that's a totally different discussion at a future date, because what this is doing is collating all those different pieces that we had before and putting it into the town code. Height restriction you're concerned about is in there as it sits, and so that's a future discussion to change that.
We've been kicking that can down the road for many years too, and there's gonna be another Ray Watson that flows in here. I wanna build on something really high.
Maybe you and Ted and Christie can get together after the meeting
All
to
right.
give you the bite.
I'll move for the motion.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, and I'm assuming this is a voice vote, correct?
Roll call.
Roll call, yeah. Marjorie Austin,
Yes.
Robbie Wolf,
Yes.
Beth Justice.
Yes.
I say yes. Alana Courtney?
Yes.
Larry Tuning?
Yes.
All right. Reports. You can stay up.
Need to skip the steps in. So this is the town administrator's report of April. Attended meetings, Main Street Planning Grant public meeting and follow-ups. You'll hear more about that later on tonight. Finance committee meeting and the volunteer appreciation. We did close another zoning violation with compliance. The well house repair was finished and financially covered under the USDA loan. We worked on the FY 26-27 budget with work ongoing, but we're at a point now where I think we're ready to start advertising that. In council, we would like to do a work session at your next meeting where we just work on the budget, just focus on the budget. Still coordinating some activity relative to the documentary that was filmed this week. There were a few glitches, but we generally was very, very well received. People seem to like the activity. Worked on employee evaluations, and so I would now like to ask for a meeting of the personnel committee to review those. As you know, previously reported pertaining to the Marina Bridge, funding for the General Assembly was not successful, and we did receive notice of a $450,000 award from the Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program, Build America Bureau, U.S. Department of Transportation. Thanks to the work of the Middleton Municipal Planning District, especially staff member Jennifer Farmer. I give you all that because tomorrow is Jennifer's last day at the PDC. I have met with I had discussions with the leadership, and they are committed to get us through this grant. Did receive and distribute to you all the trolley schedule, which was revised during review to accommodate additional hours for July 3, July 4. We received notice that the Virginia National Guard Band will be able to play at Tabor Park July 3. And I've been working with their lead to assess the venue. I executed and returned the YMCA pool use agreement for the water aerobics program to occur again this year. Completed the insurance company's value survey of town assets. And acted on the 2026 property authorization request about the Oyster Festival. Commented on a draft county comprehensive plan policy regarding the water service area, and received the draft water withdrawal package from the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality. The required advertisement will be starting next week. I have returned to the DEQ that's an acceptable permit conditions. That's based on the review of our engineer, Scott Funk. We are in a drought, but right now we've gotten no notices of having to curtail any type of water use. And the valve, box uncovering work, did not start in April, and we are probably working with the contractor to get that started as soon as possible. Now, especially this last part before, the Virginia Department of Health advised our website notice concerning potential lead pipes was inadequate for 2025, that it failed to provide notice to all persons, and that those without internet access would not receive notice. Additionally, reporting to this effort was done by email and not order required form. This all results in a violation notice for failing to notify. It is not a violation notice of water quality. Water quality is fine. The required form was completed and submitted, and please note that we did try to work with HRSD to get a notice put on a bill that would meet the lead pipe notice requirement. Unfortunately, as you know, your bills are this big, the notice is this big. We couldn't work it in. We are working on a one-page, two-sided notice that addresses 2025's notice as well as 2026's notice, and that's going to be mailed out to every single water customer, in town, out of town. Everybody's going to get this notice. And what we were kind of waiting for, we got it just a couple of days ago, was the annual water quality report. We received that today. I sent a copy of that to you all today. We have no water quality issues. Everything's fine. We will do additional notifications relative to the lead pipe and the water quality. It just won't be a notice published in the paper, direct mailing, website posting, Facebook, on the front doors of the office, at the library. We'll get the word out. Do you all have any questions with last month? Or do you have anything?
And that lead pipe issue, the town's water supply system doesn't have an issue. It would be individuals from meters to their faucet, correct? In houses?
We don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be that we're clean. We do have some unidentified pipe in the system.
Okay.
That would have to be reinvestigated. This is basically we don't know, it could be.
Okay.
A situation. Same thing for the individual homes. We don't know, it could be. If your house was built the last 10 years, you probably don't have to worry about it.
Right.
About 1875.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah. Could be. Could be.
So how much is this violation gonna cost us in time and postage?
Nothing. Well, the postage, and this is what I didn't mention it, but we are looking at trying to get a bulk rate permit because we've got to use this every single year.
So we're gonna send out an independent mailing to every single water customer?
Mm-hmm.
On an annual basis.
On an annual basis.
And we can't get it in the bill.
We tried, I can go back and try again, but it's a long, and this has to be done every year before July 1. And it's a long one-page notice. If you look at what we posted, you'll see that it's basically an entire page. And what we're having to do this year is one page for 26, one page for 25. So.
And we got that to BDH or HRSD before we hit their mailing cutoff.
We did. And we went back to them several times and asked them, can you do this? Can you do this? And they basically, by the time we got to a no, it was, okay, we got to think of something else.
What are other municipalities doing? Are they doing their own independent mailing?
Everybody's doing something different. Everybody's doing something.
But in the end, they're all using mail, right? That's the only legal way to.
That's the only way to document that you're getting into everybody. Yep. Because the internet, not everybody has internet. Not everybody has Facebook. Not everybody goes to the front door of the courthouse.
And these don't have to be certified though.
No, they do have to be certified.
Can we ask you to report on something?
Sure.
Robbie and I were at the Water Authority public hearing where all the land now in Middlesex, Gus, I guess Saluda, even private ones are under.
Private ones are exempt. Any existing water source.
Exempt. But what it did, it's capped our ability to expand.
Expand a main specifically.
Right. In other words, our main stops at Bethany?
Yep.
That's it, Bubba. Unless we somehow, and I shouldn't be talking, you should be talking, you talked to Dave Kurtz, and they told you, I guess, well, you can tell me what they told you, but this is gonna change the dynamics of things, or could change the dynamics of things. As far as our water system, the survival of our water system over time, I think.
So, by way of an explanation, use the example. Here's your water main coming out of town to Bethpage. Okay? You can connect off of that left and right. What this ordinance and county plan amendment did was basically say, you can't go this far. So where you're stopped, you're stopped. Unless you go to the water authority and ask for permission.
I don't think it says that, but I think you're right. I think you're right.
In my conversations with Dave Prick, I asked him, said, would you consider an amendment? And he said, no, because it was very lucky in terms of no, because we think you could do that anyway. Experiences in Greensville and Emporia, the city had a water system, Greensville County had a water authority. Okay. There were situations where, because of environmental factors, topography, just basically outright cost, sometimes the city could not serve a piece of property that was in the city, but the county could. So they would basically come to an agreement that, okay, that piece is still going to be in the city, it's going to be taxed by the city, it's just going to get its water from the county. Okay?
Did you get that in writing?
Yeah, I did that right. That's how we did it.
No.
Oh, I mean, you mean?
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you to go to Ray James and Dave Kurtz and get that in writing. And you come back and tell me what they said.
Okay. Well, I've already told you what Dave Pritt said was kind of mushy about, well, when we get there, we'll sit. But basically, right. What it boils down to is, if you want to extend that main line, you have to get permission from the water authority. If they say no, they say no. They say yes, you can do it. Now, here's what I see as the potential, push is, I'm a landowner. I'm just outside that line, and I want the water, and the authority can't get it to me. I'm going to kick the horn.
And if they're willing to pay for it, look at Bethany. We didn't pay for the line for Bethany, did we? I don't think so.
But it's our line, and
it's
again,
our line.
You can connect
our line. Let's connect
off of it. Yeah. And don't forget, it's just not about extending the line. You got to have that capacity. You got to be able to provide the service. So, if you have, over the course of the years, you have multiple connections off that main line, and that eats up your capacity without increasing your capacity at the source end, it's pointless to.
There's any difference between our wells and theirs. We got two, they got two, they run it all the way down to Delta.
I don't know. I don't know how deep theirs are.
I think they have some pumping substations somewhere along the way.
Well, and how much you can pull out. There are lots of.
Yeah, lots of issues. Okay.
Just like we have our withdrawal permit, they have theirs.
Yeah, and just one more thing. When we have issues like this, I don't even know who's chairman for water authority, of our water committee. But Marjorie, you and the mayor should have been to that meeting. And that's all I have to say about it.
Beautiful. Say it again, Larry.
Marjorie, what I said was, is that meeting, which was a public hearing to determine the expansion of the Middlesex Water Authority. Robbie and I were there, but I was there as a newspaper reporter. He was there as a new council member. Didn't really know, I don't think, and Robbie, you can talk to himself, but neither one of us knew exactly what's going on. Those kind of things need to be attended by the important people of our town. Government, you, the mayor, and Ted should have been at that meeting.
I agree.
Just Jen, what I'll do is I'll send to all the council, all my interactions where you can see what I said. And those should be considered by them as part of the record.
I agree. I don't have
But
a
I'll
question
send this-
about that part of it. It's just that there was nobody there to comment for the town, and these little war authorities, they had some pretty educated folks standing up there talking.
I will say, I thought about speaking for us, but the old saying, someone may think you're an idiot, so don't open your mouth and remove all doubt. Not something I know a whole lot about. I did attend. So, I will tell you that the subdivisions around this area were very concerned about it, and they made themselves very clear. But the Board of Supervisors said what they, much like our zoning code discussion we just had, they said what they were intending, but the way you read it isn't exactly how it reads. So I found that a little bit. I suspect that'll come back around for them at some point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Treasurer.
Good evening. Everybody had the opportunity to look out what was emailed out. I did not have any corrections to it. That's all I can say. With the lodging tax, you can see it was way down last month. I've been, wearing the collections hat, which reflects in March, bumped that up to 4,000, so I have several months I got caught up by one person. For real estate, we're down about 9,000. I collected a little over 2 in real estate and, about 4,000 in deal tax last week. So we'll see that in the, main report, but it's an ongoing. I just keep plugging out. Delinquencies were also, mailed out via US. And the golf carts, they're coming in, on the 4th of May, when you're ready to pay 71 applications. Any questions from anybody? I'll keep mine short, sweet.
I have a question, Michelle. On the, I know on the taxes, there's a late fee, assessed. On the meals taxes that are late, are they assessed a, late fee or a penalty for that?
Yeah, it's a minimum of $10. Otherwise, it's a percentage of the, amount of. So yes, meals tax and lodging tax do receive a penalty.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All good?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Christine?
The first thing I wanted to let you all know, in case you don't know, is that I have a new name. My name is Christine Hall. I got married in December when I was so you can see I've just been working on the stuff that I've been working on. I met with Louis at Franktronics, and we tried to come up with a folder document naming convention so that we can kind of force some records management things onto the new server. And then I've been going to the finance committee meetings and working on the chapter on businesses and business regulations, which I need to send to the town attorney for y'all to approve later. And that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right. Rob, finally.
We've been busy working on our budget. The events or notes here of what we worked hard on trying to come up with revenue that's not necessarily on the backs of the town itself, trying to capture a little bit of out of town money. Worked hard on trying to cut our expenses down as much as we can, and in the end, what day was it? Tuesday we met. We've got a budget proposal to present to the council at the next work session. That's where we're at. And on time for a budget deadline.
Okay.
No. Gonna be tight as always.
And, I think since the last meeting, we didn't have a water meeting, did we, Marjorie? Okay,
No, we didn't.
all right. Do you have a special events, thing to say, Marjorie, and then we'll go to Beth for July 4th?
Yeah, we just had second Saturday. We had a huge turnout. For the first one of the year, it was super great. We had a local band, Muddy Gut Road. They were excellent. They even played an extra little bit of time. A lot of families came. They had enough kids to play baseball, for two teams. The playground was full. It was just an amazing event.
Okay, Beth?
I'm still working on 4th of July. I need to get with Ted, when it's time. Everybody's been busy. I'm open now whenever you're available. And we've got three bands lined up for the weekend. The military band on Friday, asked Eric Audrey to help me with Friday night to do a possible movie, in the park. He has all the equipment, and I just delegated him to take care of that. And he's gonna make sure that we have all the permissions and all, take a copy of all the shoot. And then on Saturday, we're going to have, Ray Pittman Band and then Sweet Justice. I was able to secure sponsorship for my band. Thanks to Tom Bishop and, Jimmy Pickett. And I'm hoping to maybe get one more small kick in there. So, but we'll be okay either way. Then we've got plans like, for the kids after that on Saturday night, like sparklers for all the kids. We've got, as I've repeated this from last time, we got the pie eating contest, but something different is gonna take care of that. And I'm currently getting people lined up to be in the park to sell food. And I got the hot dog guy coming, for a little while, and, the lady who does mocktails. I'm still working on some other people coming. So that's all, and I'm gonna be doing social media here after I talk to Ted. I'll start social media quickly so we want everybody to decorate for the 4th of July, all the houses, the residents and the businesses. If you want to write that in the newspaper, that would help me, Mr. Children. So we want everybody to, I'll probably have a bike rally where the kids will dress up their bikes and ride down the road. I plan on trying to do a pet parade early in the morning, and Nancy says will help me with it. I haven't called her yet, so you might not want to put that in space.
Golf cart parade?
Yeah, we'll try to do it. It would be a golf cart rally. We're not allowed to say parade, so rally. I'm going by what I've been told.
I know it.
So.
It would seem like a parade.
Yep.
But it's a rally.
Okay.
If anybody has anything they think we should do, feel free to let me know, and I'll add it to the ideas of things. We're basically gonna go, because I did talk to the guy who had the drone business that ran sound for the drone business last year, and he had started his own business, and he was quoting us lower, but we still couldn't meet it. It would have wiped out all of our funds for everything else. So I just told him, maybe another year, but we'll keep his number, for future use if we need it. So, it's just gonna be like a small town patriotic weekend.
Can we think about
Cool.
perhaps getting an insurance rider for next year to get fireworks back?
I
We
would
tell
love
the
that
staff, We'll
fireworks.
pay for the insurance for
It
that night.
wasn't an insurance issue. I mean, it was an insurance
Yeah.
issue in that
Mhm.
their company would insure them. It wasn't a question of money.
Right, but if we take a policy out and insure everything and we pay for it.
No, the companies had insurance.
The location.
It was a location issue.
Their insurance
Land-
would not.
Their
allow them
insurance
to do it.
company would not cover Rosekill.
And why all of a sudden, I don't wanna get into it.
I can talk to you about it later.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. It's,
I don't know, there was a huge loss.
Yeah.
yes.
All because of some bureaucratic BS.
And I did really chase down the barge idea.
Yeah,
Like,
we did a
I've
lot.
got multiple companies that'll do it, but we're talking 50K.
Yeah, and then where do we put it?
Well, when they put it out in the river,
It was just down there, but still
they had to get the Coast Guard permitting, all of that was part of what they were saying. It seemed very possible, except for the financial part. Let it go. But I do have all my homework, I saved it all, so if we want to pick that
Good.
torch back up, they can.
You get a sponsor or something like Dominion Energy or something. Big one.
If we cleared out the marina, could we put it there for the fireworks? Marina, we didn't have people there.
You have to have, like a football field size.
Yeah, you need,
And
what
there's
is it?
gas
100,
tanks,
you need,
right.
100
and
Yeah, it's
100
too
feet
small.
per inch of shell. Like 100 feet per inch of shell.
And the barge is a possibility in the future, could just come up.
What about behind the firehouse here? I don't football field, is it?
No,
Too close to the
Can't be
houses.
close.
The duplex is in the way.
Yep.
But yeah,
No.
they do them down Deltaville.
Yeah,
So,
they do.
don't they? I don't.
but I
Yeah,
think that's
they do.
a bigger piece of property. I mean, I think that field is
No,
bigger.
they're right there watching them. At the ball field. They put it in the middle of the ball field.
Right.
It's all an insurance issue, but
All right.
we looked into it, we really did.
Yeah, we'll keep looking. Don't get it.
We just all go to Deltaville.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be the case this year.
there's nothing wrong with that.
All right, personnel committee didn't meet, but we need to, evaluations and stuff that we need to schedule a meeting, we'll get that done and hopefully have a report for you the next. Public comment.
Go on from comment number
Well,
one.
I mean,
Well,
You were number.
when I scratched it
You
out,
scratched out.
I didn't know what difference.
Oh, okay.
But-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to do it earlier with people were here, but someone at the table said I couldn't do it.
all right.
I'm sorry to make you wait.
God, I hope I don't get in trouble for this.
Depends on what you say.
No, it doesn't.
Huh? Well, I have a long list of things, but I'm only gonna keep it to one.
Okay.
I thought this meeting was gonna be on the 6th of May. You know, on the 6th of May, I'm sorry, on the 6th of May was the 5th year of Diane's passing. Wow. And then the week before that, Don Richwine passed.
Right.
Both of them were prior mayors of this town. Both of them loved this town very much. And Diane and Don worked together when he was mayor and she was on the council. And then when she was mayor and he was off the council, they always communicated on the things they were doing. And I just think the town should recognize their contributions and their love for Urbanna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, AB.
Mr. Mayo, did you have something to say?
Yes,
That's unusual, but.
William Mayo, 325 Howard Avenue. I'll speak loud, y'all help. Ray and I was sitting back out, can hear half of what's these people are talking to you all.
You can't hear it back there?
No, ma'am. And we get some speakers back here, something like we had in town hall, because that's what we come here for, to listen, because we don't know nothing either. But if we can hear, maybe we can learn something.
Yeah. Maybe you need to sit behind us.
It's also when you're, it's
All right.
also hard to hear. Hey, hello. It's also hard when people are at the podium if
Yeah.
you're on
Right
Zoom
here.
to hear them.
Yeah, weird.
What?
Oh, really? Okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, if
do
you're
some internet
on
research.
Zoom, it's hard to hear people from the podium.
I will say I found a wireless system made by Shure. It's a designed for meetings where you tap the little button to turn your mic on, but mainly it's wireless. And so, because we got to tear it up and put it away every time, because we had the other system from the other town hall, but that thing's wired up, and we probably make it work, but that's a lot of work. The wireless thing would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice.
How much was it?
I thought about putting it into the budget this year, but once we started seeing what the numbers were like, I didn't even go there with it. So
How much money are we talking about?
what I saw, 23 grand. But it's just top of the line stuff, and it's wireless, and it'll do what we need, because we are in a portable situation.
Right.
And that's just, one time looking on the internet for a little bit. If we want to pursue this, which I think we should, I talked to Christine about it a little bit. We can do some more homework on it.
I can help you with that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I know PA a little bit.
All right.
Sign yourself up.
Old business, personnel policy.
Quite frankly, y'all, I'd like to table this because there is some discrepancies in there that need to be fixed. I mean, it truly needs to be gone over. I mean, you got 6-month probation on one section and 12-month probation in another section. And I would prefer to table it.
Mr. Mayor, the agenda set, I would recommend that the attorney be able to present, and then
Yes.
those items could be notified, those items could be marked out.
She's made a motion to table, which takes priority,
Oh,
and it
okay.
needs to be addressed.
She's got it, sir. And she does.
If she doesn't. get a
Whether it's on the
second,
agenda or
motion
not, it can
fails.
still be tabled.
Right. That is correct.
I'll second it. This meeting is getting very long.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna push that down the
So
line.
you vote.
All right. Motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor of tabling? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Kick that can. Okay, new business. Main Street DHCD planning grant.
All right, this is a work in progress. It's been going back and forth a lot over the last 24, 48 hours. As you know, the Urbanna Main Street program was initiated to undertake downtown-focused economic development, revitalization, and beautification. After forming, they now wish to begin in earnest those efforts by obtaining grants. Of immediate attention is a planning grant from the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development, DHCD. That process is already underway with the draft application, which was sent under separate cover in the last couple of days to you, and relies upon a planning grant public meeting held April 21. Ideally, the next grant after planning would be implementation. I engaged with the DHCD lead and learned that while the lack of a current comprehensive plan would not negatively impact the planning grant application, it will negatively impact the implementation grant application. In consultation with the Main Street leadership and mayor, and based on feedback from DHCD, we believe the planning grant could and should move forward as a comprehensive plan update, and that has also now been changed by DHCD to be considered a community assessment, with a substantial component in that document given to downtown economic development, revitalization, and beautification. While this is a draft application, recodification, council's action is needed as soon as possible as the applicant process is rolling. Now, that's one of the things that changed for the last 48 hours. We told it was rolling, then we told it was fixed, never been told it's rolling. With a cutoff date where they won't take any more applications, that being July 1. Now, what that means is as they roll in, they're literally date and time stamped, and they're put in stacked in the order. And if the grant is compliant, ours would be compliant because we've been really engaged with the DHCD folks, they'll award us what we ask for until they run out of money. So the quicker you're in, you're at the top of the money stack. As a side note, a grant application webinar was held yesterday, and that's where some of this back and forth came from. Now, the fiscal impact could be up to $20,000 in staff time, as the planning grant is no match. The comprehensive plans are costly. Long-term mini grant resources, many grant sources will make award determinations in part from the currency of your comprehensive plan, and the financial well-being is determined by regular audit. Staff recommendation is to support the effort of Urbanna Main Street in its pursuit of the DHCD planning grant. That's the same council action requested. We do have slightly amended proposed sample motions, which really boils down to a motion to authorize the submission of a grant application to DHCD for a Main Street planning grant. Mr. Cobb is here. He's a member of the leadership team for Main Street. I think he's got a few comments he would like to make.
Hey, Ted, can you move the podium a little bit this way so that maybe Marjorie can hear better?
Well, Mr. Thornton, that's all right.
I don't count. Sorry, boy, they need to walk further.
Marjorie, can you hear better if Roy is standing there?
Probably.
Turn towards her, maybe. Hi, Marjorie.
Yes.
The Main Street, on the agenda, it says the Main Street DHCD planning grant, somewhat of a misnomer. This grant is going to be awarded to, if it's awarded to, the Main Street, as you know, has applied to the Department of Health and Community Development for several grants. One of them was for the establishment of the entity. The other was for the Wayfarer signs that are going along. In the process of looking at all that, the folks from Main Street stumble upon these two potential grants. One grant would be to the town for planning, $75,000, and it would be used to come up with basically a plan of development that would, I have some script here. It would support the planning, research, and community efforts to develop the downtown area. Part of this, it's kind of a hybrid thing. It was required to have a planning group, and that planning group has been put together with Don Caskey, Marnie Hart, Chris Durant, Sarah Jane Wyatt, me, Ted Costin, Mayor Goldsmith, and Mary Hanson, and Robbie Wilson, and Megan Hall. All people have been looking at this, trying to put it together. But again, it's a grant to the town, not to Main Street. So Main Street has just basically volunteered to organize the application and efforts to get this together. The planning grant has to be submitted, as Ted said, by July 1st. It would be better if we could get this thing in like tomorrow, which is all ready to go, if you approve the grant application and direct whoever needs to apply. And then subsequent to that,
there is money available to people who have obtained this first grant up to 1.25 million for, renewal of the downtown. Part of the activity would be to make sure our comprehensive plan is in good shape. Ted has said that, it could cost $40,000 to do that. It should have been done a long time ago. It hasn't been because we didn't want to pay for it. We didn't want people to pay the taxes. Some of the money from this grant would be used for that. Also, if you look at it, a comprehensive plan, as Ted said, if you had somebody do it, it's $40,000. We took a very short stab with AI and put together a comprehensive plan in about 15 minutes. So it's not, I know you're going to say that.
You're killing me.
Well, you have to read it.
People were skeptical of the light bulb reading,
Yeah.
And
I'm not skeptical of it. I'm just,
yeah, I mean, we don't want to cite cases that don't exist and things like that.
good idea.
And the comprehensive plan doesn't have to be reviewed by anybody at the state level.
No.
So
The comp plan has to be reviewed by the planning commission every 5 years. They don't have to make changes. If you're going to amend it, it goes through the planning commission up to council, and there are public hearings. But if you are going to amend it, you have to do studies and questionnaires. There's some community.
there's stuff that has to be done. There's no question about it. I'm not belittling that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be
$40,000.
$40,000.
Right. And that's when Sarah Jane, I talked to her this afternoon, and she said, she didn't talk about what you were talking about, but she said that she thought that they had a track for being able to do it significantly less, in which case it might be covered by the money in the grant.
Yeah, and the planning commission is the people who would have to develop this thing. So it's
Not necessarily. I mean, they could.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be
they're
done.
required to.
Review it every 5 years.
All right.
But they
So
can
this is
help.
$2 million in grants. What is it going to cost the town? What's the match?
There is no match.
There is no match.
On $2 million
There's no
worth of grants, there's no match? He said 1.25 and 75. That's 2 million. No, it's
No,
not.
it
I'm
isn't.
sorry.
No, that's
It's one. It's 1 point. Either way,
Okay, I don't like that either.
how's there no match? Because I was told it was 20,000.
No.
We had to come up with 20,000.
The 20,000 is a made up number based on the fact that there's $20,000 in the $75,000. And correct me if I'm wrong. Within the $75,000, $20,000 is for community development. I think we're calling it now, rather than comprehensive plan. But that is going to be used for updating our comprehensive plan. If the number were $40,000, then the town would have to come up with that other money because it's not in the grant. If we can do it for less than $20,000, then there's no expense to the town.
And if we don't get the $75,000 grant, we don't have to worry about any of this.
Right.
Because we can't move forward on the $1.25 million. So.
Roy,
But we need an updated comprehensive plan to help us get the 1.25.
Right, and that's not. We won't know whether we got this money until like a year from now. So we're a ways out from doing this. But you have to file the first application first. And Urbana Main Street has magnanimously offered to help do the application, run the grants, do anything. We'll offer to have an MOU with the town to make sure that we are coordinating and everybody's doing what they were supposed to.
So let me ask a couple questions. Who is gonna be held, if this does come to fruition, who is going to be held responsible for the actual tracking?
The
Who's gonna authorize the expenditures?
The town.
So in other words, this all gets dumped on me.
Well, I didn't say that.
Well,
We
that's
can get
what
AI.
it's,
So,
that's what it is.
I will say that I brought that to Sarah Jane. This explanation is not super great. But we're always saying, in essence, it's true. When I first started talking to her yesterday, because I'm like, where's $20,000 coming from? We just were debating $6,000 earlier in the day for the other money. Anyway, long story short, we're not actually dedicating any money to this. They are offering, we asked them for them to help us, and then they sort of felt like we were forcing them into it. But in the end, we're not trying to force anybody in anything. And they've still offered to help us. I did bring to her that if we get the money, we do have costs incurred with administering these. We're not trying to make money off of Urbana Main Street. Urbana Main Street is doing a lot of good work for us. And because I'm starting to confuse myself with my explanation, I support this. I think that it'll work out fine. They're offering part of the first grant they get. She's also apparently found a second grant that we may be able to use for just comprehensive plan, which we could apply to. And then again, there's Roy's idea of doing it in-house. While I was at the thing in Chincoteague yesterday, there were a couple of towns that raised their hands and said they did their own comp plan update. Right. So
Yes, that's true.
This is, it may be AI, but whatever, they got it done. I find this, you know how I am about chasing down money, and I want receipts, I want data. On this particular thing, this is a group of advanced citizens that are working very hard. I don't see any risk to the council for us to approve this, and showing our support helps them get this ball rolling. That's my opinion.
And there's no, thank you, Robbie, but so there's no, you don't feel like there's any risk to the taxpayer?
At worst case, we'll be a bunch of jerks. They get the money. We committed to them in this grant application that we're going to give them $20,000. They get the grant. Then they say, okay, here's your portion of the money that we set aside for you to get your comprehensive plan. But the total expenses are more than what it covers. We can't do it ourselves with AI. It's going to be more than 20 grand. And I don't see how we are, not a lawyer, we're entitled to actually give them the money and by endorsing our support. So yes, I don't see any risk to this.
Okay.
Right.
And we're not trying to be jerks. We want to work together. I think it's a new
Absolutely
relationship. And but if we did do something like that, because we've got some sort of real budget constraint that hits these, I don't think we're going to come to that. We'll really have your homework done.
We've been trying to find some way to get grants. I mean, that's been, going back 8, 10, 12 years. This is an opportunity. I get it, Michelle. Probably if I was on council then, I would encourage them, if we did get to 1.2, it looks like you're doing a whole lot more work. I would encourage council to give you more money, but I'm not going to be on council to do that. But I'm certainly going to vote for this.
I would say
there are typically in these grants, I don't know if you call them set-asides, but ability to recover some of your administrative
that's
costs.
what I explained to Sarah Jane, under the assumption that we could do that with the grant. And again, the town, at least me speaking for myself as one council person, is not trying to go out and lead you all of your grant monies. But we do have an actual staff concern here. Yeah. Not that she can't do it, but in the past, it had become an issue that it was always sort of a verbal agreement, I understand.
Well, that's why, if we had an MOU to say who does what.
Right.
And the Urbana Main Street folks have, basically volunteered to take on a lot of that and to help Michelle with what's going on. on, but, you know, she as the treasurer would be ultimately responsible, no question about that.
I mean, if we have to hire a part-time accountant to administer this, then that, I mean, I don't see how that is unreasonable if that's what it came down to.
If it's tied to the grant, you can do it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if they say you can do it.
You're always talking about, what is it, shaking the money tree or the,
Yeah, this is.
whatever, I mean, these guys are at no cost to the town, and taxpayers shaking the money tree.
Wait a minute.
Right, and I think they need to be encouraged.
I was telling the mayor today when we were talking on the phone that this is how Urbana has worked years and years. We've had, you know, most of what we've got hadn't come to this day. And much of what we've got
So
has
do-
come volunteerism and people that have partnered with the town and helped make it work.
Right. So do we need
If
to
I-
make a motion?
I just want, Marjorie, I want to just say something to Roy. Can you hear me? Marjorie?
Marjorie, can you
Yes.
hear?
Okay, I just wanted
Yes.
to,
Yes.
I made light of the AI. I do think that AI could be helpful, but the reason I had the reaction I did is that one of the main legal requirements of the comp plan is that it be specifically tailored for the town. And so,
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it.
yeah,
Feed the information into the town.
But,
Yeah.
and there are required elements
yeah,
by statute that you
Yeah.
have to have in there. You have to address them.
I know.
Uh,
So I just I just wanted to explain why I had that reaction.
Well-
I'm not anti-AI.
I have seen all these, court cases being thrown out for bad citations and things like
I
that.
can't
I mean,
imagine.
you can't- You have to use it correctly. You can't just, it's a tool.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure, council, the application follows the, agenda summary. It's basically a series of questions and answers. That's the application.
Right.
And then it has to be, it has to be uploaded, into the state system, for processing and receipt, along with audit and some other documents. But this is the application, right? And most of the writing was done by Sarah Jane Wyatt, with, editing and comments by just everybody else engaged. But I just wanted to make sure that you know what the application is, Q&A.
And on page, in section 6, at the bottom on the community engagement activities, it says that tonight we are honestly endorsing the project and committed up to $20,000 towards it. So we are saying that on the record to the GHCP. Again, I think it's an actual real spin in this case.
And that, when I first came here and spoke with the Planning District Commission and asked, you know, that we needed a comprehensive plan, what could they do for us? And it was like, in addition to what we're paying now, because the direction that the PDC's going in, it was $40,000. So
That's where the 40 came from.
right, yeah, that's where the 40 came from. And that was a couple of years ago. Christine has found a company that I need to talk to. I also was wondering if the company that did the 2004 beautification plan, if they were still around. Maybe they've gotten into this. So we'll look for the best deal we can get. And I've tried to talk to a couple of independents and they'll work forward. So, I just wanted you to make sure you saw where the application, this is the application.
So Marjorie asked for a motion. Do you want to repeat your motion, Ted?
Yeah. The motion would be to authorize the submission of a grant application to DHCD for a Main Street planning grant.
So moved. All right,
So moved.
got a second?
That has to be first.
Motion moved and second. Any more discussion?
Did you want to say something, Roy?
From that motion, Main Street, you're just applying for
A
a planning
DHCD.
grant.
Okay,
Okay.
Support the effort of.
just to apply for a grant with
Urbana and
DHCD.
pursue the DHCD.
Yes,
Just the word ban, take out strike Main Street.
Right. Okay.
So we re-motion it now?
No, you just, the person who made the motion and who seconded accept that modification.
So do you accept that, Marjorie?
Yes, I accept the modification as presented.
Okay, we're good to go. Any further discussion? That would gotta be a voice, roll call or voice? All right. Robbie Wilson,
Yes.
Beth Justice.
Yeah.
I say yes. Alana Courtney.
Yeah.
Larry Tuning. Yes. Marjorie Austin.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got it.
I'm not muted, so I don't know what's going on.
All right. Anybody for public comment two?
Something?
All right.
Is Christy Anzavino
Oh, no,
not
I'm
there
sorry.
tonight?
I'm sorry, yes.
She left.
Oh, I hadn't heard her, so normally she has something to say.
Great. Yeah, Memorial Day proclamation.
Yes, this was added, the Memorial Day proclamation. We were approached a couple of days ago and asked if we would update this proclamation. Christine did the updates, basically dates, reads the same as others that have been done in the past. If you have any questions, we couldn't delay this to the work session because Memorial Day happens before the work session. So if you would please, a motion to approve the Memorial Day proclamation for May 25, 2026 as presented.
So moved.
Do I have a second on that? Seconded. All right, any further discussion on that one? Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Yes, I.
All right.
There's a delay.
I think it's going all the way over to China and back to here.
I guess.
Maybe it's Artemis or something, but, all right. Still no public comment two.
Mr. Mayo did sign up for 2, but I think he took care of it with number 1.
Yeah. Okay. Announcements. Anyone? Marjorie? Larry?
I had some on my mind, but I can't remember now.
I know that feeling.
All right.
Actually, I know what it is. I think DB is correct. We need to do a proclamation or something.
Yeah.
For the 2 mills.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Right.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah. Mr. Ridgewine, having just passed, I know he, the town was truly a love of his, and he graciously allowed his land to be used for the shooting of the Battle of Yorktown?
Yeah.
Hampton.
Hampton.
That they had here over the last week. And he was glad to do it. It meant a lot to him. So, at any rate, they weren't recognized as much as they should have been at different times.
There's nobody left in town more than Diane.
Right.
That is correct. All right. No other announcements? All right. We had it down for a closed meeting. Do we want to push that to the personnel committee? Or do you want to go into closed?
Closed session.
Okay. All right.
So you just have to say, is there a motion to go into closed meeting for the reasons stated in the packet?
I make the motion. Let's read the whole thing, section.
No, for the reasons stated in the packet.
For the reasons stated in the packet.
So moved.
Which is what?
You're supposed to say it.
Yeah, it's for.
Do you have a packet?
The reason.
It's on the very last page.
Do what you're supposed to do. Just go ahead and read.
Which is to discuss the performance reviews of the town administrator and town attorney.
It's pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A1 to discuss the performance reviews of the town administrator and the town attorney. You have to have the code section.
That wasn't very nice to yell and be ugly like that.
Made a comment about him earlier.
Mr. Gravitt, Colonel Gravitt.
I'm sorry, but
Thank you for.
you said it was closed session, so I had to say a word again.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say thank you for your idea. It's a great idea.
So, Mr. Wilson, you made the motion?
I made the motion and
And
as read from the fact.
I second. Yes.
All right. Who's seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Where do we go, close?
I was just trying to make it easier for you, Robbie.
I guess we're going.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to hide anything, I was trying to make it less words.
Read it, but.
Yeah.
Let me pause the recording.
I didn't intentionally.
Well, I guess it's gonna be in, right? Wouldn't it be in here? Yeah,
Oh, there it
there you
was.
go. Okay, so you're ready? Yeah. Okay. Is there a motion to reconvene in open session and certify that only the matters that were identified in the motion to go into closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered? So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And if each of you would individually certify when the clerk calls your name.
Ms. Austin?
I so certify.
Mr. Toomey?
I should certify.
Ms. Courtney?
I said certify.
Mayor Goldsmith?
I so certify.
Ms. Justice?
I said certify.
Mr. Wilson?
I so certify.
Wait. Does your son, can I say something? Yeah. Does your son graduate?
What, do you want to adjourn or you want to stay here?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Mayor, all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
You're like sleeping on the job here.
Hi, Marjorie.
Love it, dude.
Bye.
Well, have fun at the graduation.
Thank you.
Where's